What's up, guys? What's up, everybody? Hello! It's December 18th, and you're hanging out with me. It's Venture Daily with Peter. With Peter, guys. We are going to be going over an article today, a great article that I'm really excited to read to you. We're going to go over venture deals for December 18th. Where is the money going? And then we're going to have the final word from me. You guys know how it is. The format's really easy. Let's get into it, guys. I'm sorry, I'm laughing so hard today. And the reason I'm laughing hard today is, guys, I just don't know if I agree with this article's premise. And we're going to go through this article together. You guys know how we do. We're going to go through this article together. I just don't know if I agree with it. So here's the title. Guys, you guys are here for entertainment. I just love being part of your day, help you to think about what's going on. Hopefully you can extract some lessons from today's video. Here's today's article. Here's why you should never go wholly with your gut instinct when making decisions. Now, this makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, right? If you're making a big decision, you probably want as much information as you possibly can have, right, to make an informed decision. And the more complex and the more complicated the decision is, probably we should have even more data. However, I think there are different vantage points for this, and I think there are really different perspectives that we need to take into account. So these types of clickbaity titles are often worth reading into, but sometimes they're maybe full of too much fluff. We'll see. I skimmed this one, guys. Let's go through it together. Despite many years of advising aspiring entrepreneurs and people in the business, I continue to be surprised by the number of people who wait for everyone to agree or allow others to make decisions for them. I assure you that this approach is not the road to happiness and certainly not the route to optimal decisions. Making no decision is rarely the best approach to life. And actually, I would go as far as to say making no decision is a decision. Actually, many of us have been in positions where by making no decision, we screwed ourselves. we made life worse. For example, I know people who would love to have their own business rather than be tied to another they don't fully understand or believe in. Yet starting a business requires much more than a gut feeling or interest or desire. So why is it so important what is all this? Why is it so important to consider internal hires? What is this? Every successful new business requires focused work, targeting a specific opportunity, sizing the potential and the resources required, and defining success. All of this makes sense. None of these elements can be completed primarily by gut instinct, no matter what your background, as clearly argued by Gleb Tsipursky in his book, Never Go With Your Gut. Now, I was laughing about this early on because I don't necessarily agree with the premise. I think as an entrepreneur, now that's my perspective, right? My background, I'm a founder, I'm an entrepreneur. I like building stuff, I like teaching, I love training in Agile, I love helping people grow. Like for me, a lot of the decisions that I have to make as a founder, as an entrepreneur, are from the gut. It's from the heart. It's from is this exactly what I feel I need to do? And there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of data that you can pull from, a lot of people's opinions that you can pull from that, frankly, they just don't have enough information. And they don't have the passion, the drive, the instinct that you do for your startup. And so I think we have to take this stuff with a grain of salt, right? Especially if you're an entrepreneur. And I'm wondering why it's so dark in here, guys. Why is it so dark? He calls himself a disaster avoidance expert. This is Gleb Tsipursky, the author of Never Go With Your Gut, and bases his recommendations on years of working with and studying large companies, well and small. His own experience supports his key points. Okay, so he's studied lots of large companies. He's been around the game, but the question I have to have is, has he started? Has he ever been a founder of his own idea, of his own company? Because that changes a lot. But let's see. Number one, he says, identify the need for a decision to be made. This point might seem obvious to some, but find that many people have no trouble suggesting what others should do, but have trouble recognizing the need for a decision in their own life, especially when it's not an emergency. The result is lost time, and the window of opportunity may have passed. His first point here is identify that there needs to be a decision made. Identify that a decision needs to be made. That in and of itself can be challenging. And I can tell you, especially as a founder, that sometimes choosing too fast or deciding too fast can get you in trouble, whereas being in analysis paralysis and not choosing at all can sometimes be a detriment as well. But sometimes by not deciding to go right now with your gut, so I'm agreeing with them here, actually gives you opportunity to settle down, bring your emotions down to par, allow yourself to get out of the emotional context so you can make a rational decision, even though a fully rational decision is never possible, because emotions are always a part of that. Number two, he says, is gather relevant information from multiple sources. Of course, your experience and gut instinct are relevant, but they should never be used alone.
Nope.
These days, everyone has easy access through the internet and an infinite variety of facts, insights, analyses that can be used to improve the accuracy and timelines of any decision. So do your homework. So basically saying spend more time researching. Decide on your relevant goals in driving this decision. Each of us is different, so never let your goals of your friends or family make your decision for you. The world is full of unhappy and often ineffective people in the wrong position. Generally, there are three types of goals: those based on time, interests, and long-term objectives. Always follow yours. I'm really intrigued about his what he wrote here. The world is full of unhappy and often ineffective people in the wrong position. I would agree. You should probably never take advice from someone who's unhappy with their own life. Like, this is probably a pretty powerful idea. Like, don't get advice from people who are not satisfied with their own lives, because they will throw into their advice their own ideas, their own worldviews, they're projecting maybe their own insecurities, they're projecting maybe the things that they don't like about themselves, or what they're dissatisfied with, and then sometimes they just tell you to do stuff that they wouldn't do themselves. Number 4, develop clear decision criteria to evaluate options. Here's another point when your gut should be only one input. Decision criteria in any setting are those variables or characteristics that are important to you in life. For most people, these criteria would include relevant finances, experience, interest, satisfaction, and minimize compromise. I just don't know if come on, guys. I've made a lot of decisions in life, and so have you, right? Especially if we were to compare at any level, right? I'm close to 40, and you might be over 40, you might be under, it doesn't matter. But if let's just say in a 10-year span of where I am, 40, let's say you're 30 to 50, okay? You're 30 to 50, you've made a lot of decisions in life. And I just don't know sometimes if these types of news articles are actually helpful. Because, like, how many times do you really sit down? And I journal a lot, so here's my journal over here. How many times do you really sit down and be like, evaluate all your, criteria, decision criteria? You kind of just go with what you know. Like, so this last year we hired a ton of engineers, a ton of developers, and I could create a decision matrix for which engineers and which developers are the ones that we should hire. But at the end of the day, you kind of just go with your gut. You have so much I have so much experience as an engineer developer. I know what I need. I know what the type of personality I need to get these types of functions, to get these types of infrastructure done, the architecture done. Like, there's certain types of pattern matching that I've been able to experience over many, many years, that creating a decision criteria to evaluate options, maybe you just need to go with your gut. Number 5, generate viable options that can achieve your goals. This is the brainstorming step. Brainstorm. Ooh, love that. So go for options that solve your underlying challenge, and don't judge options just yet. In my experience, the optimal choice always involves out-of-the-box thinking and innovation. out-of-the-box thinking and innovation. I don't even know what that means. That's what successful startups are all about. Out-of-the-box thinking and innovation. Your gut may not be creative. I disagree. Your gut can be one of the most creative things because your gut is the thing that tells you you need to do this. Actually, I'd go even farther. I would go as far as to say is that 99% of all founders, entrepreneurs, they decide on gut. Because gut is not something that is, it's your gut. It's not your brain. It's not rational, right? To be a founder is not a rational thing. You have to be on the fringe of sanity to be a founder, to do this work, because no one's supporting you. You're going alone. You got to build your own team. You got to prove to the world that your product, your service is worth purchasing, worth investing in, worth doing. That's what a successful startup is all about. I would disagree with him. I would say what a successful startup is all about is chasing the gut and going for it. Weigh the options and pick the best bunch. Well, when you're weighing the options, number 6, he says, try to keep your gut feeling out of the picture. Wrong. You cannot remove the gut. This is why I was laughing early on. Minimize the impact of personalities, relationship, and internal politics on the decision. I would agree with that. But personalities, relationships, internal politics don't have to do with your gut. Your gut's your gut, guys. Don't be afraid to mix and match parts of different options that seems best suited for the situation at hand. It's time to make a decision. Number 7 says, move immediately to implement the option you choose. I would agree with him here. Ensure clear communication around the decision's enactment. Accept full accountability for implementation. Think about how your decision could go wrong and move to guard against these failures. You can, if you'd like, you can try to figure out all the risk factors that will happen with the decision, but at the end of the day, you can never control it all. You just don't know. You don't know what's going to emerge out of the ether, guys. You don't know what type of dragon is going to come out of the cave and eat you alive. You never know the true, here's what I'm trying to say. You never know the true ramifications of a decision. You just don't. You think you know. You wish you do, but you don't. Some people seem to be able to make decisions but never get around to implementation. Number 8, evaluate the implementation process for a follow-up. A perfect implementation of a new business or a new idea rarely happens the first time, so be prepared for multiple iterations and revisions. I agree with that. Make this a positive learning process rather than looking at a series of failures. Completely agree. We'll probably want to talk about that a little bit more. Don't let your gut derail you before a successful implementation. I would say that your gut should be the reason, the persevering reason why you continue to do what you do, right? If your gut ain't in it. In reality, a first-rate decision-making process like this one is a discipline that is teachable and learnable, and it goes far beyond gut instinct. Unfortunately, in my experiences as an angel investor and business consultant, he didn't say that he's actually ever been a founder. I see leaders at all levels of large companies as well as small who skip some of the most critical steps in this model, leading them to slow growth or even bankruptcy. Wow, that's pretty terrible. In my view, a decision is better than none, and a good decision process is critical to making the best decision for you today. Maybe it's time for you to take control of your life and learn to make good decisions, rather than trying to live by someone else's view of your world. Remember, practice makes perfect, and skip the shortcuts. Well, I don't know if that was a great ending to this particular article, but I will say this. What he said right here at the top, a perfect implementation of a new business or new idea rarely happens the first time, so be prepared for multiple iterations and revisions. Make this a positive learning process rather than looking at it as a series of failures. 100%. I think it's real easy for us to look at the things that we've done, the decisions that we've made that were poor, at least retrospectively poor in the past, and look at them as failures, but they're not. Life is additive. And that is something that I have continued to be reminded of, especially this year in 2019, is that life is additive. I actually would maybe even go far. I haven't thought about this a whole lot, guys, by the way. But I would even go farther and say that life is almost never subtractive. It's always additive. Always additive. You're always adding new experiences, new people into your life, new shite if you're collecting shite. So I hope that you guys will enjoy or do like a spring cleaning. Like I like to do spring cleanings, guys. But Life is always additive. It's always additive. Yeah, things come and go, and we remove things over time. But I tell you, man, since everything, in my opinion, is additive, we should look at everything that we do as added experience, not a failure. Yeah, you made some poor decisions. Yeah, I made a lot of poor decisions in 2019, my friends. But you can take those lessons and apply them to the next project, to the next life, to the next experience, to the next company, to the next business opportunity, to the next entrepreneurship opportunity, to the next startup, whatever. You could pull all of that stuff. And actually, that's one of the things that I'm most excited about in 2020, by the way, because that's where we're going, right? One of the things that I'm most excited about in 2020 is the fact that I have had so much additive experience over the past couple years, especially being deep in the crypto space. And I can't wait to apply so much of the failings, so much of the poor decisions that I've made, so many of the experiences into this next project. And I think that's exciting. So while I don't necessarily agree with the author's premise that you shouldn't only, let me make the premise clear. Should never go wholly with your gut. I disagree. I think there are some decisions where the gut is probably the most important thing that you should listen to, because the gut always knows, doesn't it? Like, isn't it always in retrospect that you say, oh man, I should have listened to my gut. My gut knew that this was a bad decision. It knew that this person was the wrong person I shouldn't have hung out with. I shouldn't have, I'm going even farther back. I shouldn't have taken that extra drink. I shouldn't have said yes. I shouldn't have said no, right? That gut. Actually, I've talked about this on other podcasts. You can scroll through the videos in the YouTube channel to check it out. But I don't agree with this premise, why you should never go wholly with your gut. I think there are some things where you should only listen to your gut. That's today's article, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Hit a comment below. Smash the like button, guys. And we got to always support our sponsors who support us. True startup story, guys. You got it. Your company just got seed round financed. Congratulations. You're going to the moon. But now you have to scale. You found great talent out in California, New York, Georgia, and even Eastern Europe. So what communications platform will you be using to ensure your international team is always aligned? Well, the answer is easy. Slack.com for Teams. We've used Slack for all of our previous startups, and they've supported us in tremendous ways. And we want to give them a thanks today for supporting vchunting.com. Did you also know that Slack is a great tool for personal use? Yeah, I use my own personal Slack channel to drop in documents, notes, to-dos, and follow-ups to ensure that my workflow throughout the day is right on course. I promise you, if you try out slack.com for personal use, you'll end up using it for your team as well. Go to slack.com to check it out. All right, guys. Well, remember to make sure to join our newsletter. We send out a daily newsletter of things that I'm reading, so make sure that you check it out. Also, follow us on the tweeters. I got some notifications too. Oh, yes, I always say good morning to all my peoples, guys. But let's go on to today's venture deals. Cha-ching, guys. Cha-ching. Today's venture deals on December 18th. Where is the money flowing? Some of you guys really care about this, and certainly I do. Bright Health, a Minneapolis-based health insurer, raised $635 million in funding. Wow. My eyes got pretty big there. NEA led the round and was joined by investors including Bessemer. Okay, venture partners, Cross Creek Advisors. Ooh, nice. Odoo, a Belgium-based open-source business software, raised $90 million in funding. Summit Partners led the round. Gecko Robotics, a Pittsburgh-based safety and infrastructure monitoring service provider, raised $40 million in funding. Not bad. Vindley, a Mason, Ohio-based cloud-based work management system, raised $35 million in a Series B funding. Congratulations. Insight Partners led the round. HQO, a Boston-based tenant experience platform for commercial real estate, raised $34.25 million in a Series B funding. Insight Partners led the round. Ooh, another Insight Partners. Not bad. These guys are deploying some capital, clearly. Gloat, an Israeli-based AI talent marketplace, raised $25 million in Series B funding. 8 Roads Ventures led the round. LogicGate, a Chicago-based agile process automation platform, raised $24.75 million in funding. Jump Capital, High Alpha Capital co-led the round. Now, I'm interested in this, and the reason I'm interested in this, and this is why we do this, guys, is because I'm an agile trainer. I'm a certified Scrum trainer, and I teach agile, and I train agile all over the world. And so for me, this is intriguing to me as it's processing the request. LogicGate, we'll check it out a little bit later. Anyscale, a distributed programming platform company, raised $20.6 million in Series A funding. Congratulations. Investors included Elizabeth Murdoch, Upfront Ventures, Lightspeed Ventures. Nope, that was the wrong one. Solve, a Los Angeles-based developer of a true crime interactive digital series, raised $20 million in funding. Whoa, true crime interactive digital series? We're going to have to check that out. Look at this. LogicGate. Operationalize your risk management through Agile GRC. Interesting. Powering Agile risk management across... this might be worth looking into. Let's look at the Solve HQ. What is this? So you solve like... So you get to be part of the show when you get to... Interesting. It's like true crime stuff. You see, this is why we go through venture deals every day, because you never know where the money is going, and some of these ideas are really cool. Outsight, a Paris-based developer of 3D semantic camera, raised $20 million. I have no idea what that means, a 3D semantic camera. 1366 Technologies, a Bedford, Massachusetts-based developer of machinery and technology for manufacturers silicon wafers, raised $18 million in Series E funding. Those wafers, guys. Immuneering Corporation, a Cambridge, Massachusetts-based provider of genetic, genomic, and proteomic data analysis services, raised $17 million. Guys, I have no idea what the hell that's all about. Gotta love it. Hugging Face. Golly, this is great. What a great day. Hugging Face, a New York-based company that aims to democratize artificial intelligence through natural language, raised $15 million in Series A funding. Lux Capital led the round. Prod Perfect, a Boston-based company focused on autonomous end-to-end web application testing, raised $13 million in a Series A funding. Congratulations. Efficient IP, a France-based network security and automation specialist, raised $11 million in Series B funding from Jolt Capital. Sofrigen Medical Inc., a Boston-based early-stage medical device company, raised $8 million in Series B funding. Anzu Partners led the round. Pronto, a Lehigh, Utah-based engagement platform that connects individuals via chat and video messaging, raised $7.5 million in Series B funding. Origin Ventures led the round. Now that is something that I want to check out. So let's see what this is all about here. This Pronto. What type of organization do you have? Pronto is a communication hub created for the everyday user. It connects people via chat and video so they can learn faster, work smarter, and communicate seamlessly. So it's kind of like Slack, but more chatterific, right? So more chat and more video, I guess higher education, corporate. You know, well, let's check out corporate. Let's see what corporate's all about. See, this is good, guys. Can learn faster, work smarter, and features. Okay, what type of features you got? Real-time chat. Okay. Turnkey onboarding. Sounds like Slack. File share storing. Privacy. Okay. Message translation. Okay, legit. Group video chat. Task management. Huh. I wonder if Pronto is trying to do something different from Slack, obviously. Let me know in the comments below if you know anything more about what's going on with Pronto. Ender, an Austin-based real estate company with a platform aimed at streamlining the rental property and management process, raised $7 million in seed funding. Congratulations. Satori Cyber, an Israeli-based startup focused on data protection and governance, raised $5.25 million in seed funding. YL Ventures led the round. Riff, there's a lot of AI stuff, guys. A lot of AI stuff in the mix. Riff, an AI-based digital brand advertising platform, raised $5 million in funding. Valor, Siren Ventures led the round. Arthur, a New York-based AI monitoring and explainability company, raised $3.3 million in seed funding. Replica Studios, an Australia-based artificial intelligence voice technology company, raised $2.5 million in seed funding. Cha-ching, guys, and those are your venture deals for December 18th, 2019. A quick review. I would check out LogicGate, this Chicago-based agile process automation platform when it comes to risk. That would be cool. And check out Solve, this Los Angeles-based developer of true crime interactive digital series. That could be pretty cool. So that's where the money is going, guys, in today's venture deals for December 18th, 2019.
Did you know that there's even more value than just audio or video? Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at VC Hunting, and make sure to sign up for the VC Hunting newsletter, where you'll be able to get weekly news on venture capital, startups, founder stories, and the occasional wisdom extracted from Peter's brain. Go to vchunting.com to sign up. And now, back to the episode.
So in today's final word, I've been getting a lot of pings, and I didn't talk about this the last couple days, but I probably should have. But I've been getting a lot of pings. About, let's see if I can adjust this. Make this even brighter. There we go. What if I do this? Is that too much? Oh, I'll leave this here. Sorry, guys, I'm messing a boot. But I've been getting a lot of pings about people saying, hey, I see you got the Racecar back. That's absolutely right, guys. I got the Racecar back. I don't know if you can see it here. You could probably see it a little bit better here if I move. Why don't I just move? If I move over here, you can see the Radical SR3 Racecar, guys, is back in the garage. It's back in the garage. I'm really, really super happy to have the Racecar back. It's been in the shop for the last 3 months. We've got new custom lights on here, and if you follow me on Twitters, and if you follow me on the Instagrammage, also on TikTok, I have videos of all of this on those 3 social media sites, so make sure you check them out. But I wanted to get custom lights for the Radical, and I wanted to base them off of a Le Mans prototype. The early Le Mans prototypes from the late 90s and the early 2000s, the Le Mans prototype had these style of lightings, and so I wanted to kind of replicate that, because that is kind of the time period in which I really spent a lot of time kind of in the racing scene. Anyway, we also got new side mirrors. You can see one right there. These side mirrors are off of a Gixxer 1000, an old Gixxer 1000 motorcycle. So they're brand new. So we put on some new side lights, put on some side markers, and we switched out the axles. So since the axles had broken like 3 months ago, as I was driving it on the street, I was driving it on the street. And so we had to get those. The problem is this Radical race car being a British race car, it's hard to get parts. And so we had to get parts over from Ukraine and over in the UK. But we finally got them in, so I'm really happy to have the Radical back. Some people have been asking me, like, hey, when we're going to get videos of what's driving it. Trust me, guys, make sure that you follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I do post stuff now and again about karting and racing on Twitter, but sometimes that gets pushed down because there's just so much going on in Twitter. So make sure that you follow me at VC Hunting on Instagram and TikTok, and you can see what's going on with the Radical. But I'm super excited. I'll put some more videos up there in the future. I can't wait to drive it. It's freezing right now. Since it's open cockpit, probably don't want to be driving it too much, but I do want to take it out. I do want to get the tires up to temp and do a little bit more shenanigans with it. And so thanks for everyone who have noticed that finally got the race car back. I'm super excited that it's here. This has been always, for some of you guys might know this, but it's always been a dream of mine to be able to work and do work in my garage and have my race cars and my cars behind me. And so it's great to have my baby back. I don't have any other cars that are out in the shop, thank the Lord. And so, so just want to let you guys know I'm excited to have it back. Hope you guys have a great day. Have a great day. It's December 18th, guys. It's Wednesday. So much to do. Make sure that you subscribe to our newsletter, subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to us all over the place. We're giving out information so that you guys can better your lives and level up. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow.